All right, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of Bears Film Room. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM, joined by my good friend, co-host, also SM writer who covers the Bears, Ficky. And of course, our good friend, Jack, our producer, is here, back from a very long, extended vacation, it feels like. But honestly, it's been a vacation for all of us. I think it's been about 17 days since maybe 18 since we've last recorded an episode. Obviously, it was kind of a downtime in really all of sports after the NBA Finals. And what a good day to come back. We got a lot of good Bears news in regards to some extensions and one we might be waiting on. But we have a really fun show for you guys. Before we hop in, it's been, I know we talk off screen, text and everything, but Fick, man, Jack, how we doing, boys? It's been a while.
It has, man. It's so long. My girlfriend was like, when do you have a show again? And I'm like, that's a great point. It's definitely been a long minute. But like you said, if we were going to take the break, this was the best time to take the break. And how perfect was it that when we come back, the day that we have the show, we actually have news drop in regards to the Bears. So it's just good to be back. Training camp technically started today. The Chargers kicked it off, the first team out of the 32. So literally football is back. So I'm excited. How about you, Jack?
Doing well. Yeah, I'm excited for football back. I saw something, it was because the first Hall of Fame or the Hall of Fame game is the 29th, I think. And so
29th, 30th, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that's right before our last show. And so it's crazy to think that football is this month for the first time.
Yeah, it's wild, man. We've been really waiting. Like, I want anything on my TV screens at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'll take any form, any sort of news that gets like the juice pumping, and I can't wait to hear like any one of those intros. You know what I mean? Like, I can already hear dun da 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 like that. I just pump it through my veins. So I'm really excited for that Hall of Fame game, even though there's going to be no one really playing. But it's just kind of the momentous moment of like, hey, football's here, and then we'll have it for like 6-7 months. So, but Dave, how you doing? How's things been on you?
Yeah, internet's back, I guess.
Love that.
Bunch of problems. Before the show, we had my light wasn't working, and then of course the Wi-Fi. But I think I'm good. This is what I get for taking like more than 2 weeks off. But I'm excited to be back. I'm not sure what you guys touched on. The news today, like I said, was perfect timing. What did Jack say? Like, Jack, how's your life been? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, you definitely did.
It's been
okay.
It's been fine.
Yeah,
it's not been like exciting or anything.
Yeah, no,
it's all right.
I'm excited. It's funny. I saw that tweet. I think it was from Schefter or something about the 49ers. Or no, you said it was the Chargers that just had they started their training camp. I feel like that's wild. The rookies and quarterbacks report on Saturday, which will be going live on Saturday, kind of recap all of that. I guess capture the walk-ins of all the players. I don't think much is going to happen Saturday.
Probably not.
But it is kind of crazy to see that football is, honestly, it's right here. It's like it's basically August because we're halfway through the July or more than halfway through. So I'm pumped.
That's what Jack was saying, because the Hall of Fame game is the end of this month, right? So we literally are going to have football on our TV screens this month, which is fantastic. Like, nothing more exciting than that.
No, in this offseason, I'm curious to see how you guys feel. We talked about it maybe last episode, but I feel like this offseason has actually gone by very fast compared to the probably last 3 or 4 that I've covered with the team. So I don't know how you guys feel.
I would agree. And I think it's because there really hasn't been like drama. I don't know. That makes you like there hasn't been major discourse about like really much. And I'm okay with that, because I think sometimes that discourse drags out for so long that then you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, like we're so focused on this that football feels so far away, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And like thinking about it this offseason, there hasn't been like any major storyline that's really caused like I'm on this team, I'm on this side. You know what I mean? So,
well, we also had Caleb and Rome last year. And so like that felt like forever to finally see them like touch a field and like see something other than, a pass or two. So now it's like we have Loveland, who we know is not showing up early. Luther's having his thing. Like, it's like there's nothing really looking forward to besides like the actual first game.
That's a great point, because you're right. We were so excited to see those guys get on the field. And then this year, I mean, we still had 2 picks early, right? And we technically have 3 second rounders, which we'll get to. So there's 4 exciting players to see, but I don't think they have like that headline name or excitement as 2 top 10 picks overall, right? One being a quarterback and then also wide receiver, 2 of the most exciting positions in football. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty stoked. Ozzy Trapillo is very, very exciting. I think Loveland, he spoke to the media, I think during his camp in the past week or so, and he didn't give a timetable, but he said he's 100%.
Yeah, I think it's
now,
with that.
is he 100%? That's right. Yeah, is he 100% in the eyes of the Bears training staff and medical staff? I don't know, but you expect him to be out there as soon as he gets that clearance. And I mean, I'm excited to watch him, but Luther Burden, I know he hasn't signed as of, this podcast at 6:02 p.m., but I expect that to be hopefully done before camp. I would hate to see a holdout. He's going to sign eventually, but it's due. Vic, you've had some really good stuff. You want to kind of go actually before we hop into the, obviously seeing Ozzy and who's that? Shamar Turner. They signed. You kind of you had a take on Burden that you don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So I would love to start there with your take on, again, you can follow him on Twitter. It's Ficky Baby, but your reasoning behind that. Because I didn't technically agree, but like I said, I'm open to both sides. I want to see what made you kind of come to that conclusion.
Yeah, and it's less about like Luther Burden himself. It's more about the agents and the leverage and the situation we're in right now. Because we talked about it like 17, our last episode, whenever that was, right? We literally had a section talking about how at that moment there were only 2 second-rounders that had signed, because what happened was the domino that fell, the Houston Texans gave Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver they took in the second round, a fully guaranteed contract. For a second rounder, that was the first time that happened in NFL history. So what happens then? All these other people, because Jaden Higgins was not like the first pick in the second round, right? So anyone that was before him is obviously going to their agents, and their agents are like, well, if Jaden Higgins got that, we're also getting that, right? And so what happens is all of these people are playing leverage basically based off what the guy in front of you does. Because imagine you're pick 45 and pick 46, who was picked after you, goes with a fully guaranteed contract. You're picked before. There's absolutely no way you're going to be like, that guy deserves fully guaranteed and I'm not going to get one, so I'm holding out. So that's what we started to see, because Jaden Higgins and the tight end on the Browns both, well, Jaden Higgins was the fully guaranteed one. That's what really did it. But basically that kind of put a halt where the leverage was now with the agents and the players. So my standing on it was, why did Shamar Turner get signed early? Because there were some picks at like pick 40 was signed today, and then I think it was like pick 45 was signed. Shamar Turner was after that. So that doesn't implicate him because he can't use that towards leverage. Those guys were picked earlier, right? And then that's the same light. Once you saw some of those guys within the 40 range get deals, that's when then you saw Ozzy come in, because he was picked after them as well. But you know who was picked before them and was the 7th pick in the second round at pick 39? Luther Burden. So you're looking at that top 10 in the second round. There's still, I don't think anyone signed in that range. And so they're still playing the leverage game to kind of see which one of these guys is going to show their cards first, right? So I look at pick 39 and I'm looking at the pick before him and the pick behind him. The pick before him is Travion Henderson, right? The running back. So we'll have to see what he does, because if he doesn't do fully guaranteed, that would assume that Luther Burden's not doing fully guaranteed. But the pick after him might be even more important, because it's Tyler Shuck. And if you don't know, Tyler Shuck is the quarterback for the Saints. And what happened to the Saints this offseason? Derek Carr retired. So Tyler Shuck is literally fighting to be the franchise name of the Saints. So if the guy behind him hasn't signed yet, that plays major implications on Luther Burden, right? So that's why we have to kind of see what pick 38 does and what pick 40 does, or anyone before. If anyone signs before Luther Burden, like pick 33 through 39, any of those guys sign, that's the first domino. We can expect Luther Burden deals coming next, but we haven't seen that. So
what was Alfred Con? He was 40?
42, I think.
Okay, yeah, because he signed yesterday. Burden was number 39 overall.
Right.
Ozzy was number 56.
Right.
Of course, we got Shamar Turner. He signed his. Another big one was Mike Green signed with the Ravens. They got him at number 59.
But I don't think anyone from basically the top 10 of the second round where Luther falls in, none of those guys have signed yet. And that's literally someone in there has to show their card, because that'll determine what leverage these players have now.
Yeah, and apparently he is seeking strong guarantees, but they all are.
Oh, they're getting them too.
Yes.
Can I mention some numbers here? So there was one deal today where so basically how it works is a lot of them are getting how it was is the first 2 years are guaranteed, but they're basically getting no money on the third year, right? For these second rounders. What they've been fighting for this year is to get either all money, right? Like Jaden Higgins got, or getting more than what they got last year. And we're seeing that. So some deals are getting where they got zero money last year. They're getting 47% guaranteed, up to 60% guaranteed. I think Shamar Turner was something like 40% guaranteed, right? Or something around there. So they're going from not getting like anything guaranteed, so 2/3 of the deal guaranteed, to now getting like 7/8 of the deal guaranteed. So the holdout and everything they've done is actually working. And I'm always here for the players getting their money, but it's so much politics and just the leverage game being played. Along with that, you had the whole NFLPA investigation that's happening right now, where basically the leader of that, who's supposed to be, the face of the player union, is basically has ties with the owners and investments and all this type of stuff. So there's like, a bunch of shady stuff going on right now that's put the NFL in the situation that it is now, where the second rounders are literally still not signed, and training camp starts this week. More of them are signed, but there's still about 10 to 15, I think. I don't know if some deals are going on right now, but there's still 10 to 15 that are still not signed. Okay, I know I just went pretty long on that, but I just want to give the full context.
I think it's, because there was a tweet here. It said Turner. So Turner's deal, you said he got an extra 35% guarantee in year 3. And then, he was number 62 overall in the second round. Broncos second round pick, running back RJ Harvey at 60 overall, entering this draft. Full guarantees were only a signing bonus in the first year, only a signing bonus in the first 2 years salary. So adjustments, honestly, it looks like they are getting stuff changed. Yeah.
Which is good.
Luther
good for
Burden,
them.
I think he could be close to 100% guaranteed money. Obviously not more than, I would say 90%.
Where was Jaden Higgins? Do we let me see. I want to see where he was.
I thought he was like 80 overall.
Yeah, sorry. I want to know like the position. Where was he? What number was he taken? Because that's going to be huge. Draft position. Sorry, I'm trying to see when he was taken by the Texans.
Second round, 34.
So that's huge, right? Because that's five picks away. Basically, he was the second pick. So that's what did it, right? So Luther's probably saying, hey, look, you're giving a top 10 pick in the second round a fully guaranteed contract. I'm 5 picks away. I also deserve that. So that's what's causing basically those top 10 picks, none of them being signed, because they're looking at that deal and saying we deserve that as well. Well, so that's why I think there might be a holding. We have to see what happens between those 5 picks.
And it doesn't help that Higgins plays
receiver. Yeah. So
Higgins receiver. So Burden's definitely going to want that matched, but it's fully guaranteed, $11.7 million. Be interesting to see. I don't see why not, especially a second rounder, high second rounder.
Question, Jack here. Do you think that Burden will, or any of those top 10 picks, do you think they'll be signed before camp starts?
Yeah, I think isn't it usually common nowadays that they'll hold out until camp, and then it was like the first or second day of it they usually sign? There's a big name last year. I can't put my finger on who it was, but I vividly remember hold out. Training camp started that day, was signed, and then he was out there for the second half of it.
I think that happened today. Trey Harris on the Chargers. He was in the holdout. He said he was holding out literally last week. And, of course, camp kicks off today, and he's no longer holding out. So
right, exactly. So that's
why get the deal done.
Exactly. So to answer your question, I would be surprised if it held on longer, because like Dave just said, like I don't see why not. Like it's not like it's an iffy talent. Like we know he's a talented player, second rounder. So
yeah.
I want to bring up, so like with Ozzie Trapillo, I think there's a real case that if he were to miss time, it would be detrimental to year 1 for him, because he's in the middle of fighting for potentially starting at left tackle to begin the season. Yeah. Luther Burden, I think he knows he's probably number 3, number 4 as far as pass catchers go, because I'm even going Kmet, probably goes more Adunze. Probably Komet, you would think. I don't know where Loveland, he's injured. If he starts day one of camp and he's healthy, I mean, that makes it interesting too, right? He's going to be ahead of him, especially if he's not getting reps. I know they're not in the same position group, but pass catchers nonetheless. Even DeAndre Swift, right, is going to eat up some targets. Burden I think he's just like, I'm going to chill. He's probably knows he's third or fourth option. He's going to have some chances to make some impact plays, but there's no reason to truly get him on the field other than like when you look at Ozzy's situation where it's like, no, he can hit the ground running and potentially start day one at that position. And Shamar Turner, of course, I think his deal made sense since everybody else was getting done. Was, I think, ahead of him?
Yeah.
So
it only made sense for him, right? Because the leverage was no longer in his the ball was no longer in his court. But you know what's interesting too is that I also think when it comes to getting up to game speed or catching up with the playbook and things of that nature, wide receiver is probably a little easier. Like if you're missing time per se, right? Obviously, you want timing with quarterbacks, so that's always important, getting those reps in. But like being able to get on the field and like kind of get right into it, I feel like we see that in the NFL where like it's the wide receivers, it doesn't take long for them to kind of get right into it. So I also feel like there's not that pressure of like, well, if I'm missing out, this is a big deal. So that's why the comment here, which I mentioned earlier, is probably what's the biggest domino, which was the Tyler Shuck deal, right? At 40. Because that's a quarterback who literally cannot miss time for a team that doesn't have a starting quarterback, right? So I feel like that's going to be the first one that goes, and that is literally the pick. I think, Dave, you were gone when I mentioned this, but that is literally the pick right after Burden. Burden's 39, Tyler Shuck was 40. So I think Shuck's deal will actually get done first, and that will automatically then determine what Luther gets. If Tyler Shuck gets fully guaranteed, best believe the Bears have to give Luther Burden fully guaranteed. So we'll have to wait and see.
No, I agree. I'm hoping that Luther, I mean, it's Saturday's 2 days away, less than 2 days. So I hope he's just there. If there's one thing I hate, which I want him to get his money, is just starting late, right? Or delaying, especially with Ben Johnson. You got a brand new offense. I know it's not the end of the world. I'm sure he can, make it up, but it's just when you have a new regime, everyone's starting fresh. You want everyone there for day one, right? Even with injuries. This one is preventable. I know he's dealing with soft tissue, but I believe that's 100% healed. So I just hope he's out there, mainly because I don't want to be talking about this 2 weeks into camp. Like, oh, we still haven't seen Luther Burden. I mean, that's the worst case scenario in my opinion, as far as just because he's just a weapon, right? You want to see him out there. Even in the backfield, when he was at Missouri, he lined up a couple times, took some jet sweeps too, I believe. It's going to be a fun option, a fun tool that Ben Johnson, I know, wants to utilize. He can't do that if he's not out there. So
that's a great point. Great point.
Thank you.
We want everybody there. We want everybody there. So, and healthy too, obviously, because we still don't know. We assume that they're going to be healthy and ready to go. But I think that goes to the point that Jack started off the show with. Those guys really haven't even been on the field yet. You know what I mean? Like Luther was out there for 2 days way back. And then the second day wasn't even a full day. So it's like, yeah, they need to get the ball. They need to get the things going. You know what I mean? Get the ball rolling. So.
Yeah, I'm stoked for camp. I want to bring up because I know we could talk about Ozzy Shamar, but I mean, at the end of the day, we knew they were going to get signed. Happy that it's done, especially with Ozzy. I think that's I'm just excited to watch him and really see if he can compete with Braxton Jones, who I believe is going to be ready to go for camp.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I guess that's another storyline. I don't know if that's been confirmed. Has it been confirmed? Have you seen it yet, Vic?
Not confirmed, but it seems like that no one is saying that he won't. How about that? Because normally
it wasn't otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah. There hasn't been speculation of like, oh, he's not going to be back. And if anyone had a doubt of that, they would definitely be talking about it because that's headline news for, Chicago Bears football. So it makes me think that
for sure
things are good to go, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, anyways, enough of the contract. I don't want to talk about it until I guess Saturday, which we'll be back. Again, we're having a quick turnaround here. We'll be going live Saturday morning ahead of rookies reporting and quarterbacks reporting to training camp, which I believe is 3 days or early, because I think the vets report the 23rd.
Yeah, I think so.
23rd or 24th, one of the two. So they'll be back. Everyone will be back at Hallis. But I want to, before we move on to something else here, a little bit more fun. There was a ESPN top 10 rankings that they've been doing. I actually really enjoyed reading every single list. I saw some people like, lists are stupid. This one I think is really, really cool because these are based on votes from 70 NFL executives, coaches, and scouts. This one, the Bears didn't have many. I don't even think they had an honorable mention in any of the other lists, right? Prior, they didn't have quarterback, halfback, or anything like that.
They had I think they only had two. They had Tremaine was on the top 10 for linebackers, and then
Tremaine Edmonds,
he was 6
over TJ Edwards.
TJ. He was 6.
Whoa, how did I miss that?
I'm pretty sure. Let me while you go into the one you're going to go to, let me confirm.
Yes. But other than those, other than that, I don't think anyone else has made it. Obviously, Caleb was not there yet. DeAndre Swift, I don't even think was an honorable mention. Receivers, a little shocking. DJ Moore, maybe it was the body language, right, Jack, that left him off that list, especially with executive and coaches and scouts being the main voters here. They probably didn't like it.
Can't be walking up the field in the middle of the play. Can't do that.
That's the difference between 10 and 11, right?
Exactly, dude. You get it.
No, I said it's funny how we dogged Jack for that during the season, but then Ben Johnson literally comes out and confirms it's like, yo.
No, I have every right to do that. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of week 4. We're in the middle of week 4. I mean, we're fighting for any type of positivity here. And then out of nowhere, I see this firestorm that literally hits the Chicago radio waves. Everyone's talking about it. And I'm like, who? And no other than our fucking guy, Jack, who started this. And I'm like, because, the Bears, I just want them to be good. Last thing I want is all this controversy. And then we have our guy stirring the pot. But he was 100% right.
He wasn't wrong.
He was ahead of everyone.
He wasn't wrong. Yeah, he was just early.
But the problem is, he was early. He was the first to do it. But then it was like, okay, the QB school started to see it. And all of his breakdowns, I mean, every 5 minutes, he'd be like, you see this shit from DJ Moore? Like, it was just so prevalent. All type of film guys. And then, of course, it became a mainstream topic as well. So, but props to Jack. That's called, what is it?
Journalism.
Journalism.
That's
some big J journalism, right? That's part of my take.
That was my name.
Time out, though. I want to say this. I just want to confirm. Yeah. So Tremaine Edmonds was number 6.
Can you read it?
Yeah, I actually am going to here.
Okay.
So
shame on me. I unplugged.
No, you're good. There wasn't that much talk about it. So his highest ranking ever, or his highest ranking on this list was 3. His lowest ranking was unranked. Okay. Last year's ranking, by the way, was 7. We must have missed it last year too. Okay, but I'll read the little blurb here. Voters are mixed on Edmonds, whose production doesn't always match his physical tools. He's 6'5", 250 pounds with long arms, and he can move. Scouts tend to lean his way because of his scheme transcendent traits. Quote, he has the prototypical physique, athletic ability, and speed that you covet in an inside linebacker in today's NFL game. End quote. An NFL personal director said, quote again, he can diagnose playing downhill in the box. He can play sideline to sideline and has the coverage ability to match up in zone or man coverage, end quote. Coming in at number 6. Which is interesting. Look, what they said isn't wrong, but if I'm picking over the past 2 years, the linebacker, in my opinion, that's played better, it's got to be TJ, right?
Edwards got an honorable mention. Well, shout out to Poles. I mean, I like that he has 2 of those guys, right? Was Roquan 1 or 2?
I think Fred was 1. Roquan was 2, I think.
Yeah. So you trade Roquan for two potentially basically top 10 guys outside of Edwards. I don't know. I think Edwards, it's his size, right? His ability, like his stature. He's 6'5" or something like that. His a lot of people talk about potential, right? In Chicago, Patrick Williams, right? It's always about potential. He has the potential of this, blah, blah, blah. And they like his frame, everything like that. TJ Edwards, I feel like he's obviously a way better player, but those intangibles or those stuff you can't teach height or the frame, his size, his speed. It just hasn't really come to fruition since he came from Buffalo, right? Because he was already good at Buffalo. We thought he was ascending. I still think he's at that same level. He hasn't really progressed. I don't think he's regressed, but he just hasn't really, for the contract he signed too. I don't have the numbers, but it was a pretty big one. It's way more than TJ Edwards, and Edwards just signed an extension, which I love. But and you're looking at me crazy, Jack. I think that's a pretty good. I know Williams is terrible.
I can't believe we just said the
no. He was looking at you for Patrick. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah,
Patrick Williams just being mentioned on this podcast, a professional like journalism podcast, is disgusting.
That's what
hey, I have to, man. I got to work on my comparison. Season's almost here. Anyways, I am shocked that Edwards is not higher, but I think it's when it's these executive coaches and scouts. I mean, when you're game planning, you really got to be aware of Edwards because of what he brings, just because of the size, right? Edwards is fast. Yeah, Edmonds. Sorry, Edwards is just like
the same name, basically.
Yeah, I know it's a little confusing, but I mean, shout out to the Bears getting two of those guys essentially in the top 10. But I say all that because I didn't think anybody else had made it. But shout out to the Bears getting their linebackers on there. Cornerbacks. This was interesting. This one was I literally bookmarked it and I was like, thank goodness this came out today because I wanted to talk about it. And I'll start here. Jalen Johnson. Again, this was a list based on votes from those executive coaches and scouts, and it was from ESPN. The Chicago Bears cornerback Jalen Johnson landed at number 8 out of 10. What they said was Johnson was one of the most consistent corners over the past 2 years with combined 6 interceptions and 18 pass deflections. His ball production dipped slightly in 2024, but he was more disruptive around the line of scrimmage with 7 tackles for loss. Really good zone awareness, sticky, an NFL coordinator said. Versatile skill set. On 53 targets, Johnson allowed 32 receptions for 448 yards and 2 touchdowns. So last year, he was also ranked number 8 in the league. His highest ranking on this list for 2025 was 4. This is what's crazy. His lowest ranking, unranked, meaning some guys didn't even have him in the top 10. And I don't believe as an honorable mention. And then one thing they also talked about was how Matt Eberflus did a lot of cover 2. The thing with Dennis Allen is there's going to be more opportunities for man coverage. And then a coordinator said, I think it'll be good for him. He's got good feet, gets handy at times, but he has enough awareness at this point in his career that he can make a new scheme work. So I was pretty shocked at just 8th. I can go over the corners ahead of him if you want. Because I think the problem is when I was writing this up, because I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. The problem is it's such a deep field of quarterbacks or cornerbacks. Like there is so much talent there. It almost makes sense. But let me go over these names. If it will load. Number 1, I believe, was Sauce. Just a heads up there.
Fun fact. You know who had a higher PFF grade than Sauce this year? Jalen Johnson. This was a down year for Sauce. Now, he still only gave up 1 touchdown, which is pretty good. But
JJ's always been graded pretty well. Like I feel like he fares well
graded,
when it comes to
2 years ago. Yeah, last year he was in the 90th percentile for grading, but 2 years ago he was number 1. So
you know how many times I saw or I had seen that when he was basically perfect or he had the highest grade. I saw that like all throughout that summer, which is fine. But okay, it is taking forever to load, but I think I got it here. Okay, so we have number 1. Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick Surtain, Denver Broncos. Highest ranking was 1, lowest was 4, age 25. Last year's ranking, he was number 1 too. Over Sauce. Number 2, Derek Stingley Jr. Oh my goodness, where is Sauce Gardner? I was way off. His highest ranking was 1, lowest was 4. Last year he was 10. Denzel Ward was 3. Trent McDuffie is 4. Sauce Gardner is 5. Christian Gonzalez is 6. J.C. Horn is 7. Of course, Jalen Johnson at 8. 9 was Quentin Mitchell out of Philadelphia. And then 10 was Devin Witherspoon, Seahawks. Immediate reactions. Are you moving anybody behind Jalen? Or are you moving Jalen up at all?
I think Jalen's definitely in front of JC. He's not in front of, I'll put it this way. He's not in front of Surtain, right? Defensive player of the year, probably the best corner in the league the past 2 years. Derek Stingley, also, I can understand him being 2. Derek Stingley has been amazing. And those guys are kind of been hot since they've been drafted, right? Jalen was a little bit longer of a burn to get where he's at. But I'm putting Jalen, like, if you're going to argue at like a cutoff, he's got to be top 4. So either he's right behind Stingley or he's right after who was after Stingley? Who was 3? Trent McDuffie.
Myself, Trent, KC,
Trent McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie.
So I'm probably either putting him in after Stingley or after McDuffie, and then everybody else would have to be after him. I'm putting him top 4. Yeah.
You have him higher than Sauce. Christian Gonzalez, you have him higher.
If you're talking Sauce over the past 3 years, like it matters how we're looking at this. Are we looking at this career-wise?
So the list,
or is it year by year?
Year by year.
No,
I would think.
Because if it's year by year, Jalen Johnson had better stats than Sauce in every category. Every category, like literally almost every category.
So the objective was to identify the best players for 2025.
Exactly.
This was not a projection, not a 5-year projection or career achievement award. It's just who are the best players heading in.
And he's in front of Sauce.
Okay.
Because Sauce had a worse year last year compared to Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson had more interceptions. The only thing he didn't have more was pass breakups. He had better coverage grades, better advanced analytic grades. So for last year, if that's what we're taking, then he deserves to be better than Sauce. But if you're talking about a 3-year window, like Jalen's got a great 2-year window. Sauce Gardner, since he's been in the league for the past 3 years, has an elite window. So I could see how he would be ahead of him. But if it's just year, we're taking one snapshot, I would put him ahead. But again, like top 5, it doesn't, like, I'm not arguing wherever he is in top 5. He's an elite corner. Everybody on that list, let me know, Jack. There wasn't a name on that list where I'm like, they don't belong in the top 10, right? It's more about the nuance of moving them left or right, up and down. So,
yeah, I also think Jalen's like, we always talk about it. I forgot what list it was last year, but some list came out and it was like top 10 corners or something, and he was nowhere to be found. I think it was NFL.com or something like that. But no, I agree. I think PS2 is best corner. The Sauce conversation is kind of interesting, though, because the Jets defense were like Quinnen wasn't good either last year. And, Quinnen's like a top tackle, but the offense was so horrible and the team was so dealing with whatever. So I'd probably say that's the closest argument I'd make is like the Sauce Gardner versus Jalen Johnson. I think that's the closest. But everything else, I forgot who you said Dave was 10. That was the only name where I was like,
10 like was Quinion Mitchell, Eagles.
For the Eagles,
his defense was crazy.
he was pretty good last year. I think he was a rookie last year, though, coming out of Toledo. But he was their best corner. He was better than technically oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name? White boy. Sorry. Who's the white corner? On the Eagles.
He's a safety, right? Technically.
Safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper DeJean. But Quinion was actually better than Cooper DeJean.
6 in the Super Bowl.
He did, though.
Yeah. Well, Mitchell, dude, listen to this. In those 3 playoff games that they had, where's the stat here? So in 3 playoff games, Mitchell allowed 7 yards after the catch on 5 receptions. I feel like that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
First of all, only allowing 7 yards. Yeah, that is that defense was crazy.
Surprise. Howie knows how to draft defensive players.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're all shocked, right? That's what they do. That's why they get to the championship every other year. So ends up finding those dogs on defense.
So what I want to do real quick is we have on Saturday, we're obviously going to recap some of the news. We'll look at some of the clips, whatever we get from the rookies and quarterbacks reporting on Saturday morning. We'll get to that. But Saturday's episode is going to be a position by position breakdown, and we're going to give our confidence rankings each one. So it'll be a 1 through 10 scale with 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, and we're going to do that on Saturday. But today, I wanted to go ahead and do our Bears team award predictions. I thought this could be fun. Shout out to DWC. He put me on. I quote tweeted his, and then of course, it was fun to do. So how it works for our Bears team award predictions is you cannot repeat players for these awards. So the awards are MVP, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player of the Year, or for the team, and then the ABA award as well. And
what is ABA? Is that Andrew Billings?
The Andrew Billings Award, which was a joke, but yes. So I wanted to go through it. Before we do that, ABA. Since can
we do the mid read since we're at the midpoint?
Yeah. Before we hop into it, I just want to give you guys what we're going to talk about for the next 30 minutes or so. But yeah, let's do that. Let's also play. We had a crazy voicemail. We don't get a lot of them in the off season, obviously, but we got this one. We'll play it, but let's get to the ad read real quick, and then we're gonna have a really fun.
Can we play the voicemail first, just because I want?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jack, have you heard it yet?
Jack. I don't think he has.
All right, I want Jack's initial reactions right after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna show live reaction.
Oh, geez, fellas, listen, I can't wait for training camp to get here. The next 3 weeks are going to drag by like a dog that's got, like, molasses balls or something like that. Fellas, I'm ready for the season to get here. I want to see what Ben's got in store for Caleb, and, oh, boy, if he can fix the sack problem, fellas, because if we're being honest, that's the real concern, right? The sack problem, and also that deep ball accuracy. But it's going to be phenomenal. So, okay, toodles.
That's just not a real person, right? That's not real.
I don't know if it is, but I love it.
I don't know what it was.
Changing his voice.
That was my least favorite thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I hated every second of it. I almost turned it off. I hated it.
No, I hated every second of it until he said, "Okay, toodles." I was like, "All right, respect." That was funny. I didn't expect that.
You guys know who Nardwar is? Nardwar, Jesus, can't even say it. He interviews like a lot of musicians. You never seen him?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that reminded me of. How he talks is exactly how Nardwar was. So I don't know if that's who he's trying to impersonate, but I'm sorry. That thing, it's a love-hate relationship.
I'm going to make a public announcement live. Going forward, Barry is banned from voicemails. Never again will we play another one of those. He's banned. Banned.
Keep sending them in, Barry. We'll change your name. I need him. I need him. We can just keep pranking Jack on it.
Get Barry off this fucking. Get him off the show.
That's hilarious. Love it, Barry. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you.
How do I follow that? How do I follow that? Okay. Awesome. If you're an awesome fan like Barry, right, and you tuned into the #1 show for the fans by the fans, which is the BFR podcast. First off, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. We know it's been a long off season, but football's right around the corner. So if you want to celebrate with us, please just like and subscribe to our channel because it just helps this show grow so we can get out to more awesome fans like you. Because again, we are the #1 show for the fans by the fans. Dave, Jack, and I are all fans like you. We go through the ups and downs, the pains, the sorrows, the joys, the highs, everything in between. And we're just excited as you for this season. So please just give a like and make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, if this is your first time here, welcome. Make sure to, like I said, like, but also we do this for every one of our shows. If you leave a hashtag #NewFaceGang in the chat, we'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if this is not your first time and you've watched at least 2 episodes, or maybe you've watched all 160 something that we have, first off, shout out to you, but you know what to do. You're a true OG. So give a hashtag OG in the chat, and we'll make sure to give you a shout out before the end of the show. And of course, if you have any questions during the show as well, go ahead and throw some questions in there. If we have time, we end up going through some at the end. All right. So that's all free. If you want to give like and subscribe, all that, it's free. Just please do that. It helps us grow because we're really trying to build this #1 community of Bears fans and awesome fans like y'all who are awesome fans like us. But if you also want to support us, or if you just want to look fly this summer, we do have a store with new merch. So that's the BFRstore.com. We have a new hoodie. That hoodie is sick. And a new shirt that you can see for the fans, by the fans. Stickers, hoodies, hats, all that stuff on the BFRstore.com. We really do appreciate it. All proceeds just go back into making this show fire and giving you guys more value. But if you really want to feel special and join our community, you should join our Patreon, the BFR Den on Patreon, where we have tons of exclusives that we do. We have monthly giveaways. We have private Zoom calls, mailbag episodes, and much, much more. We have 2 tiers. We have our highest tier, our Hall of Fame Grizzly tier, and our entry tier, our rookie Grizzly tier. And what comes with that is, first off, you get a shout out every episode that we do. So shout out to our Hall of Fame Grizzlies, Michael, Gage. I saw Gage in the comments, so shout out to you, bro. Phil, Michael, again, Michael Berry. We got Thomas Whitty and our man Tito. And then also we got to give a shout out to our rookie Grizzlies as well. We got Alex, Chris, Jason, and Caleb. So shout out to y'all. We really do appreciate it. Again, if you want to join, you just got to go to the BFR Den on Patreon. The entry tier, the rookie tier is like $3. You get tons of exclusives. You get access to our Patreon as well. Also, you can just communicate with us at any point in there, which is fantastic. And then if you join the Hall of Fame Grizzly tier, which is $10, you get a monthly Zoom call with Dave, Jack, and I literally every month. We've already done like 6 or 7 to this point. It's been super fun. We've met a lot of our Patreon members, and it's been such a great time. So if you want to be a part of the ongoing community, go to the patreon.com. If you want to look fly as well, go to the bfrstore.com. All the proceeds from both of those go right back into the show. That is it. Just want to say love y'all and thanks, and we appreciate all the support.
Absolutely. Cannot wait for the season to start. It's going to be fun. But let's get to our Bears team award predictions. Again, we're going MVP, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved. Cannot repeat players. Of course, I guess I'll start, and then you can obviously have the same as mine. You just can't repeat it on your list, if that makes sense. So I'm going to start my MVP. When doing this exercise, it was pretty clear. I think this has to happen for it to be a successful season, in my opinion. Was Caleb Williams. I mean, quarterbacks run this league. They make your team go. And as far as we'll go as far as Caleb really leads us, if that makes sense. Like, we're not going to do really anything if he's hot garbage. So, Rookie of the Year. This is where I got a little fun. I put Ozzie Trapillo. Reason being it means he beats out Braxton. And then he outperforms, of course, Luther Burden, Colson Loveland. I mean, all of the guys in his draft class, but also he locks down that left side. And he's going to have to outplay a very solid player in Braxton Jones. I know a lot of people, may not be as popular, it's like Charles Leno almost, right? In regards to how he's viewed in Chicago, kind of polarizing. But for me, I would love to see Ozzie hit the Rookie of the Year. That means, we're firing on all cylinders. We have a good backup in Braxton as well, where he can kind of, fill in when it needs to be. And then also you don't have to pay back Braxton Jones, right?
You don't.
You're going to have Ozzie on a pretty, really, obviously, solid deal. As we know, he signed today is his rookie contract. So Offensive Player of the Year, I went with DJ Moore. The reason being is, I'll get to that, I guess, a little bit later, is because I have my Most Improved player being somebody else. And so I'll get to that in a second. By Defensive Player, I put Jalen Johnson. I think he's elite. I think he's one of the few elite guys on that side of the ball, at least, as far as just, I'm excited to watch. We talked about it, Dennis Allen, man coverage. I want him to follow and shadow basically the best receivers. I want to see him line up against those guys and shut up down if he can. I know the greats are going to get theirs, right, at the end of the day. But I want to just see Jalen kind of take – last year he felt a little checked out, and I think that has to do with just the chaos that surrounded the team. Eberflus getting canned, I get it. But I need him to be locked in 17 games. I know he will be, but I just think he would be the Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I'm curious to see who you guys pick, if it is anybody outside of Jalen, and why. My Most Improved player, I went with Rome Odunze, and that's why I didn't have Rome as Offensive Player of the Year, because I think I think he very well could have a better season than DJ in regards to yards, even touchdowns, because I think he just has so much potential that wasn't even unlocked last year, and he still got 703, right? 700 yards, 700 plus yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns. And so I just think he's going to be the Most Improved as far as route running. He's put on some weight this offseason. He's the guy I cannot wait to watch. I know we saw him last year, but I just think he's going to be so much better, more comfortable. So that's why he wasn't, OPOY. He was my Most Improved player. And of course we have the ABA. We won't get to that. That's more of a joke, but that's my list, guys. I don't know who wants to go next. I'll leave the floor open.
I can go next if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay. You didn't define what MVP stands for. I know there's an assumption, but mine is actually Most Valuable Person. And that's because instead of Caleb Williams there, the most important person on this team and the most important acquisition of this offseason is Ben Johnson. We will everything will be elevated. He has his hands on more things, right? Caleb elevates just the offense, but what Ben Johnson does to this team with, first of all, understanding the processes of the team, how the team is going to handle their business, right? How strict he is with the team, right? Keeping them in line. It starts with Ben Johnson. He is the leader of this ship, and the ship is only going to go as far as this man tells it to. So I'm going to go with Ben Johnson as my MVP or Most Valuable Person, okay? Now, going to what's next? Offensive player of the year. Offensive player of the year. This one might be a bad take. Some people will probably think, but let me give the context here first. Ben Johnson loves outside zone. Ben Johnson the Lions last year were the number 1 team in play action. The Bears were 30th, right? Why is that? Because to build off play action, what do you have to do? Be able to run the ball. You look historically at the Lions, they've always been able to run the ball, and they run the ball well. Now, it's split back then. I mean, obviously with the Lions, you have Sonic and Knuckles, right, with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So the carries are a little bit more split. I don't necessarily think it's going to be that even of a split here in Chicago, and I think DeAndre Swift is going to get more of those touches. Because of that, I actually have our offensive player of the year going to DeAndre Swift, right? Because when it comes to the backfield and the you're talking about the target share per se, right? Not from passing, but from actual carries, he's going to get more of the share. While when you're looking at Rome, DJ, Cole Kmet, Luther, Loveland, their shares are all, there's more people fighting for the ball in that type of space, right? When it comes to catching the ball. That's not the case for running it. And Ben Johnson has done a really good job of showing us for 3 years that he loves to run the ball and they're effective with running the ball. So with our new revamped offensive line, that's what I'm going with offensive player of the year. So then you're probably wondering, interesting, offensive player of the year, MVP, you don't have Caleb anywhere. That's weird. Yes, it is. But that's because I actually have him in a spot which I think is more important than anything on this list, and which is the only parameter I'm looking at this year, most improved player. Because if he shows out and he breaks 4,000 yards, right, or 30 touchdowns, either or, right, something along the line that says he gets the pen out, dips it in ink, and says, boom, I'm the franchise quarterback, the season is a success. So I'm almost like banking, and this is more of like a personal, this is what I want, is for Caleb to be the most improved player, because then now we can put the quarterback talk to rest for the first time in probably my 32 years of life, right? Now, Jay Cutler years, you kind of were good for like 2 or 3 of them, but to really feel like, oh, we have our guy. So I have him locked in at most improved player of the year. Honorable mention for that would be Rome Odunze, but I think Caleb is actually going to show more improvement than what Rome does, and the impact of that is bigger. Okay, the final 2, I think, is defensive player of the year, right?
Yep.
I would agree with you. That is Jalen Johnson. The impact that he has the impact that he has isn't just from a statistical standpoint. He literally shuts down half of the field. He does not get targeted that much. Kind of in the same way that Sauce is, because you look at Sauce's stats, he's got like 3 interceptions his whole career. But you know why that is? Because no one throws the ball that way, right? And it's the same impact you see with Jalen Johnson. He is literally able to shut down the field. And what's good about Jalen Johnson, which he didn't do early in his career, is he's following wide receiver ones way more often. And in Dennis Allen's defense, he likes that to happen. So I'm expecting to see more of that, or at least the same. And therefore, we're going to see his impact be even bigger because he's taking away one of the biggest target shares of the offense, right? So that's defensive player of the year. And then the final one is
just ABA. We're just, I think you've done every other one.
Oh, rookie. I didn't do rookie.
Oh,
rookie
that's right.
Rookie. Okay.
Curious,
you know what? This is probably my biggest cop-out one. I mean, JJ's kind of cop-out, but I'm going to go Luther Burden. And here's a hot take. I actually think Luther Burden, if he's healthy, is going to end up with more targets and yards than Cole Kmet. Why? Because the type of position he plays and how he plays is more like one person that Ben Johnson knows really, really well. And Colson Loveland talked about it. He was asked on Kay Adams when he was at the Panini the event this week. Yeah. She asked, like, who do you watch? Whose film do you watch? Who are you studying? And you know what his number one answer was? His only answer, Sam Laporta.
St. Brown? Oh.
Sam Laporta. And if you don't know, same team. Sam Laporta is on the Lions, right?
Wait, and that's who was watching him? Loveland?
Yeah, Loveland.
Oh, okay. So, I thought you were talking about Burden. Okay. My bad.
No, that's all good, though. That's also a good person to watch, though, Burden. Take notes on St. Brown. But my point is this, is that I think that he's actually going to fit a Sam Laporta role probably a little bit better than Cole Kmet. That doesn't mean that Cole Kmet's not going to be impactful. Doesn't mean that Cole Kmet won't have more touchdowns. He's a bigger body in the red zone, so he's probably going to be a better red zone target. But I feel like target-wise and yard-wise, we're probably going to get more, if healthy, caveat, if healthy, from Colston Loveland. Okay. I would love to hear, Jack, what you have.
Showtime. Starting with the soft, going MVP, and I'm already breaking the rules. Dave took the biggest cop-out ever, and I'm taking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the MVP. He's the greatest quarterback the Bears have ever had. It's going to be 4,200 yards this year.
42. How many touchdowns? Is he breaking 30?
30, sure. And it'll be like 8 picks. Like, it'll be a crazy season where we're like, holy shit. I can't believe
8. Only 8. Okay.
It's him. HIM. Yeah, so Caleb, MVP. That's a layup. Offensive player of the year. Mine is Rome. Because I think there's something about Rome this year specifically. Like last year we had really high expectations. And he had like really amazing catches. But again, those kind of, would end up for 15.
Yeah, I agree. He had like the
was,
quietest 700 yards I've ever.
Oh, right, exactly what I mean. Like exactly.
So quiet.
So
he's like third in Bears history, by the way, for rookie seasons. It's just like, man, he didn't really do much, did he?
Right. We kind of look at it like he had a bad season, which he didn't. Like he had some really clutch catches, like the Packers catch specifically.
Yeah.
It's like a very notable one. So that's my offensive player of the year. Defensive, we kind of touched on him earlier. I'm going with my boy Tremaine. I think Tremaine steps up this year. I think we kind of see like that increase in play that we have been seeking the past 2 years. I think him and TJ are going to be really just a fucking like powerhouse duo. Which leads me to my rookie of the year. My goat. This guy, I swear to God, he's starting by week 3. Swear to God. I'll put any amount of money anyone wants to match me on. Kyle Monangai. This dude, I can
now I
feel
want
it
to take a bet.
bones. I can feel it in my bones that this
Well,
guy
might want to get that checked out. Yeah.
No, dude, it's a Jameer thing 2.0. Obviously, he's no Jameer Gibbs, but like it'll be the same style where like Swift will be the one.
Man, you had an issue with my Patrick Williams comparison. Jameer Gibbs and
okay,
got nothing against.
Maybe David Montgomery.
Let's do this. This is another segment called "Let's have Dave defend Patrick Williams for more than 3 minutes."
All right.
I don't like comparing a guy who has not touched the football field yet. He hasn't touched the football field yet. How can you
Patrick Williams? Of course he hasn't.
I'm saying he has, and he sucks, and And Monangai hasn't even touched the ball yet, and you're saying it's the same thing. That's nuts. It's
no.
Nuts.
I think you're saying Swift. I think that not Swift. Gibbs.
Gibbs. I thought you were.
I more meant like it'll be a 1-2 thing because I think Roshan.
Yeah. Okay. That's where I had a problem with Jack.
No, not a player comparison. Just like a play style scheme comparison with Ben Johnson.
1-2. Okay, I got you.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I do think that he'll really show up. Go ahead.
You got a Gage here. Said he'll give you the 20 cash app if he starts.
Done, buddy. Hand it over.
Lock it in. It's locked in.
Don't know my cash app. I'll
you just lost $20, Jack.
I won $20 on the show. Like that's nuts. No one else can say that. Free $20. But yeah, no, I do think Monangai is going to be a really, really key piece. I like his play style. I think I like the short, quick guy. Where Swift is kind of like he's not taller, but he's kind of like a bigger guy in a way. I don't know. Like that's how I perceive it. So Monangai, GOAT. Well, I
defensive player. Did you do defensive player?
You said you think Monangai is starting week 3.
3. Yeah.
What do you mean
starting? A dominating.
Sorry, like over Swift.
Like he's over Swift over Johnson.
My time. I think he'll be starting. I think that he will see the ball more than Roshan and DeAndre, either of them by week 3. I think that.
Okay.
Watch. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to predict the future. During camp, he's going to ball out.
Prior to no injuries don't count. So if Johnson or if Swift goes down, the bet's off.
Yeah, we don't do injuries, but it doesn't matter. He could have a
$20 as well, Jack. You're either going to be $40 richer or $40. I'll take you $20 right now.
I'll take it too.
Done. Fix out of this. Big shut up.
Now he's getting nervous, bro. There's no Jack. You should at least maybe then like week 6. I'll give you that chance right now. I'll give you a chance right now. They're not going to change anything week 3 unless it's an injury.
Jack, that's so quick.
If you want to do week 8, I might be there again prior no injury, but I know you're
right. Literally right now. I'm the Jon Snow gif. That's what I am right now.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bastards. That's me standing there. Everyone's rushing at me. I'm holding my sword.
Yeah.
Week 3. I'm staying here.
Fair enough.
$20. Respect
it.
Oh man, I ain't gonna bet.
I'm telling you, I really think that he's going to be a really, really big player. Love him.
Right. No, that's great. We love the take.
Okay. Who was your most improved?
Is that what we're missing? Most improved. it's kind of a lame answer, but I think most improved compared to nothing. And I think it's gonna be a really key piece is Jaquan. I think Jaquan's gonna have a really nice season.
Good one.
Again, we didn't have anything really to work off of last year
creative.
for the most part. But I think Jaquan, he'll be awesome, and Byard too. Like I think having our 2 actual safeties rather than Owens played his part, but it wasn't like the same Owens production. So.
Can I throw a name in the ring, which I actually was thinking of most improved, but like I think this is gonna be, I don't know if most improved is a word, but like if there's a breakout award, I think this person is literally front of the line for this, and that's Javon Dexter. Because if you
breakout, that'll be a fun one. That's yours.
Yeah, let's do a breakout. So mine's gonna go Javon Dex. Yes, we're gonna go Dex.
Okay.
And why I say that is because when you look at the trajectory of defensive tackles, right? A lot of the good ones now, like Chris Jones, things like that, they normally don't break out until year 3, right? It takes about 2 years to kind of get things going. Last year we saw that he definitely made strides. Definitely some statistics that help back him up, like advanced statistics, like his pressure rate was one of the top in the league, right? So I can see now with the revamped defensive line, the new rotations, people like Grady Jarrett added, obviously having Ode on the other side, along with a healthy Montez, right? I can see him take Adebingo. Yeah, Adebingo. Yeah.
Least talked about, but his contract is pretty spicy. Like it's pretty expensive, but he's not even. I don't even see him on promos or anything. Like we just gave this guy a bunch of money. I'm excited to see what he does, but
that's
man,
like deal for sure. That's someone falling in love with the body and what's going to come. But I think, just like the offensive line, the defensive line is very much unit based, right? The edges, a lot are more one-on-one, right? Your defensive ends, but as a whole, like if you're missing one piece from here and there. So I say all that to be like, I actually think because of the improvement and the additions we made to the defensive line, along with the ascension that we were seeing from Javon Dexter, I actually put him as number 1 as a breakout candidate. But I'd love to know what you guys think.
I'll be quick. Tyree Stevenson.
It's a good one.
Wait on it. Jack.
I'll go with my GOAT, Torrey Taylor. I think that this is the year like Torrey's like becomes that like real, because last year him? so bad. That's why how nice is it that we like go 3 and out and we're like, fuck, we have a 3 and out, and then I see number 19 walk up there. Like that
makes it a little bit better.
It was cool the first 20 times, and then it was like, holy shit.
That was OD.
On the year.
Last year was OD.
Punt.
Like, I don't know, Caleb once a game, and we're like, oh my god, it's like a celebrity sighting,
Do you think Caleb texted him this year and said, don't worry, bro, we're not going to be playing?
I think Torrey blocked him after that. After this year,
he deleted the number from his phone.
Yeah, he deleted him.
New number. That's hilarious. That's crazy.
I like it. Can we get some more shout outs? I'm sure we have some OGs in the chat. Let's get some shout outs and we'll get out of here. Does that sound good, boys?
Yeah, let's do it. Jack, if you want to pull that up, and then you can cue the music as well. I didn't even see you pulled it up. I can't read. Here we go. We got Dobbsy here. Dobbsy 34. So hashtag OG. You know what? Because that's a white polar bear. Bears. Let's bring back the alternative white jersey, please. Oh, that's great. Polar bear white. We need those. And then Gage here, who is an OG, hashtag OG in here. He said, join the Patreon. Yes, you should do that. And you still got time because we haven't done this month's giveaways. We haven't done this month's Zoom, private Zoom episode. We normally do them at the end of the month. So you still got time if you want to really get the juicy exclusives we have there. And then it looks like we have one more question as well. Oh, no, here we go. We got 2. So Chicago Bears Huddle Podcast says, do you think Luther gets more targets than Zacchaeus? I'm going to say no real quick because I think Zacchaeus.
I'll go yes. I'll keep it short. Yeah.
Okay, so 1 no and 2 yeses. Love that. And then Bears fan for life. Hey, guys, any chance Poles signs a veteran defensive free agent that's still unsigned? I don't think so.
Unless injury, but no.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, unless injury. Good stuff, though.
Absolutely. We're back here in about 48 hours. Again, July 19th, Saturday, we will be going live that morning for camp as rookies and quarterbacks report. And then we're going to do our confidence meter for each position group ahead of training camp, since we're about 6 days away from officially everyone being at Hallis Hall. So we'll look forward to that. We'll be there Saturday. Appreciate the support. Like, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Right on.
Peace.